What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we're hearing that a recession is likely inevitable. It's going to be coming on the horizon for our economy. Things are going to be getting worse for our financial situations here in the United States, and they're saying that the answer, take a look, you guys, stimulus update, when a recession arrives, economists say more stimulus is the answer, and yes, they're talking about stimulus packages and stimulus checks. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we're going to be taking a look at some video footage that just came out over the weekend and some articles that are going to be covering why stimulus checks. There is going to be more, and we've seen them in the past. They're going to be coming in the future, and they're saying that, take a look at this, you guys. The stimulus checks that landed in bank accounts around the country during the height of the pandemic, it helped lift nearly 4 million children out of poverty. Still, there are those who rally against providing help, acting as though the federal government has never done such a thing or they won't do it here in the future. Those folks may want to go back and check their history, as we're hearing that stimulus has been done before. It was done during the pandemic, and they're saying it's going to be done again, and they're saying the chances of it happening right now before these midterm elections, due to everything happening with 41-year high inflation, record high food and gas prices, and all of the calls for a recession, it's very likely that this could happen here very soon. Now, in addition to that, I've let you guys know that there's over $800 billion with a B of leftover stimulus funds from previous packages just sitting there. And they're saying that the president, he could do executive orders, has the legal authority to repurpose and reallocate existing funds, not issuing new funds, but just taking one sitting there at existing funds and send it out to the American people in the form of stimulus checks or some form of stimulus provisions. Now, we will see, you guys, because things are heating up as we get closer to these elections. I'm going to dive into this article, let you know what they're saying, and also we're going to be taking a look at some video footage as we're going to be hearing that a recession, it might already be here. As take a look at these headlines, you guys. In the U.S., economy already in a recession. A lot of people are saying we're already there, and we're going to be getting that CPI data on the state of inflation tomorrow. I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date, and we're hearing that Congress, they're working away responding to all of this, as Democrats right now that are in full control of Congress, they want to stay in control, and they're saying that if legislation can't get passed, well, keep an eye out on President Joe Biden for executive orders and executive actions, of which they have a laundry list of him to respond to, including wiping out student loan debt, stimulus checks, child tax credits, an assortment of different provisions that they'd like to see passed that they say can help out the American people right now and also help out Democrats in these midterm elections. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date. We're also hearing Republicans saying, well, if you vote us in power, then after the elections, there's going to be child tax credits, provisions, tax rebates, an assortment of things to help you out as well. So we will see, but let's dive into the articles and the video footage and get you caught up on the latest. Now, before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. I cite all my sources, put them on the screen, read right from the articles so you know it's the latest. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More videos coming every day at noon on that channel. Short little bits of information to help you out with everything going on in our economy. And also keep an eye out for the comprehensive list of all checks that I'm assembling right now. A lot of people think there's only this federal stimulus checks. There's actually states, cities, and counties passing new checks almost every other day now, with surpluses of budgets and, like I said, leftover stimulus money just sitting there. They're passing their own packages and in many cases their own checks, but people are missing out because they don't know about them, and in many cases you have to apply. I'm going to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. Keep an eye out for that comprehensive list of all checks. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so first, let's take a look at this article that came out that said stimulus checks and payments, they're the #1 way to help out during a recession. And we're going to be taking a look at the video footage here in just a second from CNN, where we're going to be hearing we might already be in a recession. And they're going to say maybe we should fire Biden and the administration because they're saying a recession isn't inevitable. And they're saying, no, address the fact that we're entering into a recession. Our economy is off track and we need to get some solutions to get us through this turbulent economic environment. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. But first, take a look at this article, link in the description below. just came out a few days ago. Stimulus update. When a recession arrives, economists say more stimulus is the answer. Now, key points. The American people received stimulus checks during both 2001 and 2008 recessions. So this has happened in the past. It happened during the pandemic, and they're saying it's going to happen again. According to economists, stimulus checks help blunt the impact of recessions, and the faster that businesses get back on their feet, the faster recession can end. And stimulus checks, they help make that happen. Now, as we mentioned, it says that you might want to check your history if you think this hasn't happened before and that it won't happen again. Stimulus during recessions, it has happened time and time again. And they go through in this article and say stimulus stabilizes employment, stimulus payments fills state gaps, and they're saying stimulus has helped keep people out of poverty, specifically stimulus checks. Now, I shared with you in a previous video that we have those saying stop the stimulus payments. It's causing this record high inflation. But we have those that are saying stimulus helps keep us out of a recession, helps keep people afloat, and the inflation is actually caused by all of the money from the stimulus packages, nearly $6 trillion, $5 trillion of stimulus over the course of the pandemic. But stimulus checks themselves, the direct assistance that went to the American people, was just a very small portion. And a lot of people are saying we need to send out those checks because if it's just checks going to people, it'll help them out directly and it won't be a massive increase in inflation. Now, you guys, let me know your thoughts. We're going to be getting that CPI data reading tomorrow, which is going to let us know where things stand with inflation. We just received word from the White House in my last video. If you missed it, check it out. That they're saying expect the numbers to be pretty bad and that we could be going into a recession. Well, take a look at this video footage from CNN where they're saying we're already in a recession. Go ahead and take a look.
Fears about a recession eased a bit this week after another strong jobs report, but with the Fed likely to raise interest rates again later this month and high inflation continuing to push up the cost of everything you buy, Americans remain deeply uneasy about the economy just months before the midterm elections. Joining us now, New Hampshire Republican Governor Chris Sununu. Governor Sununu, thanks so much for joining us. So the U.S. economy has now recovered all of the private sector jobs lost during the pandemic. Gas prices, after shooting up, have been dropping steadily for more than 3 weeks. Do you see this as signs that the economic outlook is going to improve, beginning to improve, or are you worried about a recession coming?
Recession is coming. You cannot add $5 trillion onto America's balance sheet and just hope it goes away. The recession is coming. The Fed, I think, has known this for a while. They've kind of ignored it. They should have been easing us into the right rates and where we need to go over a year ago. You had a Treasury Secretary who was saying, oh, well, it's not inevitable. Well, of course it's inevitable. You don't need 4 years at Dartmouth economics to know that when you add that $5 trillion, there has to be some outcome. And unfortunately, the outcome is high gas prices, high housing prices. The price of a taco is getting unbearable for some folks. And it hits lower and middle income families very, very hard. And that's just going to be the issue going forward.
What do you think the Biden administration needs to do about it, if anything?
Well, there's a couple of things. Look, first, I would fire the Treasury Secretary. I think she's completely misled America because she didn't want to kind of own the bad news. But that's part of public service. You got to own the good with the bad. You got to ease folks into it and present a glide path. But the more this administration keeps telling people that a recession isn't inevitable, of course it is. Look, gas prices might come down a little bit, and that's wonderful. Home heating oil prices are still going to be at record rates this winter. And just having people in their homes, elderly couple, folks on fixed incomes, low-income families, just to heat their homes this winter, that fuel crisis has yet to rear its ugly head. But believe you me, it is coming. And that reality is going to come to bear at the toughest times, right? We have high energy prices now, cost twice as much to fill your gas tank. It costs about twice as much to create baseload generation. And all of that really comes to bear, and it's not going away anytime soon.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And we're going to be seeing, because as we've mentioned, we're approaching midterm elections. It's ramping up here, all of the pressure on Congress to get things done, pass legislation, do executive orders and executive actions. Democrats want to stay in control. Right now, they have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. But we're hearing that right now, with the way things are going, a red wave is going to be coming on the way, and Republicans are going to be taking seats in the House and the Senate, and we could have a full Republican Congress with a sitting Democratic president. And it's very likely that over the course of the next 2 years, if that's the case, it's going to be pretty hard for him to get things done. And we're hearing that in 2024, it could be the end for President Joe Biden. And if you missed my last video, we're hearing about 64% of those polled Democrats are saying he should not run for re-election, that they need to replace him with somebody else. If you missed that video, check it out right after this one. But you guys, that is the latest. We will see whatever unfolds. I will keep you up to date if we enter into a recession or not, if there's more checks, inflation, whatever happens. I'll be sure to be here for you and keep you up to date on the latest. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you like to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not come join the Ram fam? Just hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, and keep an eye out for a comprehensive list of all checks on all levels so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.